Real Madrid's first big transfer, Amorim to sign PSG star? Guardiola finds Haaland replacement. Is Salah's new contract agreed? The management of Barca seems to have finally lost patience and has presented the Dutchman with an ultimatum. He's been given 3 options. Either go on a low-calorie diet, meaning he agrees to a pay cut, pack his bags and look for a new club, or, well, the grimmest option. Warm the bench until the end of his contract. Not exactly a rosy outlook, right? You can understand the Blaugrana bosses, though. They've decided to do some serious housekeeping in their financial department. And de Jong, with his astronomical €30 million salary, has been a thorn in their side for quite some time. There's been interest in the Dutchman, of course. Manchester United, Chelsea, Liverpool, Bayern, not exactly small names in the football world, but Frenkie doesn't seem like the type to sacrifice his comfort for the sake of sporting ambition. Life in Barcelona, with that kind of salary, is clearly treating him well. And here lies the conflict of interest. Enter Saudi Arabia on the horizon. The oil-rich sheikhs have been snapping up anyone who's made even the slightest name for themselves, and de Jong, it seems, is no exception. Rumor has it they're offering him a 3-year deal with a post-tax salary of €15 million, almost the same as what he earns at Barca, but with one catch. Over there, he won't be dazzling anyone on the pitch, but rather casually kicking the ball around. Is that really his dream? To wind down his career in a league where the level of play is far from elite? A persistent ankle injury robbed him of the chance to show his level on the pitch. In the end, Barca's rising stars like Gavi and Casado left the Dutchman with no chance to reclaim his spot in the starting Avantiste. And now, a transfer to Saudi Arabia feels like a fall into the abyss, from the heights of European football to the sands of the Arabian Peninsula. Sad, but true. So, what's next for Frenkie? Is this the end of his career at the top level? Will he make a deal with his conscience and choose money over ambition? Or will he find the strength to rethink his priorities? Will he leave a lasting mark on football history or fade away as yet another overrated player lost in the flood of petrodollars? It seems Guardiola, seeing his citizens falter, has decided not to beat around the bush and snatch Jonathan David from Lille as early as January. The guy has certainly racked up a ton of goals for the French side, 101 goals in 209 matches. And he wasn't just running around aimlessly. He also clinched a league title and the French Super Cup. This season, as they say, life's not the same without David. 17 goals in 26 games, he's working his socks off. Lille, of course, needs to mentally prepare for his departure. His contract is running down, so either this winter or in the summer of 2025, the Canadian will be moving on. Initially, City were aiming for him in the summer, but it seems they've figured that with results like they're having now, just 1 win in 13 matches, what's that all about? Waiting until summer is like waiting for Godot. Haaland, of course, deserves a statue while he's still playing for his goal-scoring feats, but carrying the team single-handedly is too much, even for a player like him. David, in my opinion, would be perfect here. A prolific scorer, hungry for victories, and the price tag is reportedly quite reasonable now. Lille, of course, had ambitions of around £60 million, but now, considering his contract situation, it seems a deal could be struck for around £25 million. These guys know a good striker when they see one. They don't just pick anyone. And then, Barcelona appears on the horizon, also keen to bolster their attacking prowess. The Catalans, they say, have also been looking at the Canadian, weighing up the pros and cons. David's performances in the Champions League have apparently given them more confidence in his quality. Manchester City are clearly determined, and the January window could be decisive for them. They need a forward who can either replace or complement Haaland, and David, it seems, fits that role perfectly. The price, of course, could still change, but as they say, nothing ventured, nothing gained. City, on the other hand, will be pushing all the buttons to secure the Canadian next month, and here's the main question. Will Guardiola be able to pull off this transfer trick? Will David become the ace up their sleeve that puts City back on the winning track? Share your thoughts in the comments, let's discuss. After all, as they say, it's a funny old game, and the transfer window is always a theatre of the absurd and brilliant decisions all at once. Manchester United has suddenly entered the stage of high-profile transfer rumours, setting their sights on NUNO Mendes from Paris Saint-Germain. The Portuguese player is either about to break free from his golden cage or end up on the bench of unfulfilled potential. The question is now really the moment when PSG would risk parting ways with their young star? The intrigue lies in the fact that the 22-year-old defender's contract is nearing a critical juncture. With just a year and a half remaining, negotiations with PSG have stalled. Rumour has it, Mendes isn't thrilled with the terms being offered, and now word comes that Manchester United has already made an official bid. Meanwhile, Diogo Dalot is trying his best to cover an unfamiliar position, even though he already has enough on his plate defending his natural side. Clearly, in this situation, United needs a highly dependable player, and, jokes aside, Mendes might just be the left wing, capable of adding pace and attacking sharpness to their lineup. Moreover, the stats speak for themselves: 90% passing accuracy, nearly 6 duels won, and 5 tackles per game. His price tag of £46 million doesn't seem exorbitant, especially for a player who has already proven he can perform under the pressure of a top club while maintaining high levels of performance. It wouldn't be the first time a big-name signing fizzled out in the chaos of disjointed rotations and dressing room discord. The club is desperate to reclaim its glory days. Could young Mendes become their new icon of flank play? Or will he burn out, overwhelmed by yet another wave of instability? For now, all we can do is closely monitor the twists and turns of these negotiations. What do you think? Can Manchester United finally lock down their left flank with Mendes? Or will PSG show their trademark resilience and refuse to let their talent go? Let's discuss in the comments. The decision is made. Trent Alexander-Arnold has declared his intention to join Real Madrid next summer. Can you believe it? Liverpool's defensive cornerstone is ready to leave the club where he became a symbol of a new era. It seems Los Blancos have pulled out their old free transfer card and are ready to play it again. For years, Real Madrid has eyed Trent like a diamond that would fit perfectly into their royal crown. And now, with Alexander-Arnold's contract winding down, the Madrid side finally has the chance they've been waiting for. As for Trent, he seems tired of the endless speculation and has decided to put an end to it. After all, La Liga is not the Premier League. The pace is different, the demands are different. And what about Trent? His friendship with Jude Bellingham is another interesting detail in this story. But let's think, is Alexander-Arnold's loss a catastrophe for Liverpool or a chance to reboot? On the one hand, they are losing not only one of the best right-backs in the world, but also a symbol of their attacking philosophy. On the other hand, it's an opportunity to refresh the squad and inject new blood. The question is, who can replace Trent? Does Arne Slot already have a plan B, or will it be an urgent purchase in the winter? What do you think? Who is right in this situation? And could Trent's departure be the beginning of the end for Liverpool, or is it just another stage in their evolution? For now, the questions remain open, and the speculation continues. What awaits Trent at Real Madrid? Will he be able to live up to expectations? Or will this be another case of a Premier League player failing to adapt to La Liga? Leave your thoughts in the comments, and we'll keep an eye on how things develop, because this story is far from over. Alright folks, Mohamed Salah has us guessing about his future once again. Could the Egyptian star really be staying at Anfield until 2028? That's the bombshell dropped by the Spanish publication Fichajes. And while it's not exactly a source that deserves complete trust, you have to admit it's too loud to ignore. Salah, who's already 32, has found himself in the center of a negotiation whirlwind. On the one hand, he's supposedly reached an agreement with Liverpool on a new 3-year contract. On the other hand, the club has recently become noticeably more cautious with offers for players over 30. Is this a challenge to age stereotypes or an attempt to hold on to a key figure at any cost? According to Fichajes, the two sides have already shaken hands. A contract until 2028 is allegedly ready, and this is against the backdrop of previous rumors about a compromise regarding a 2-year agreement. What does Salah himself think of this offer? It's unlikely that he, accustomed to the status of the main star, would agree to a reduction in salary. But who knows, maybe his love for the club will outweigh the financial aspect. The question arises, how justified is this risk? Can a 35-year-old Salah be as useful as the current one? In the summer, he was actively linked with a move to Saudi Arabia. Huge money, huge hype, but Mohammed remained loyal to Liverpool. It seemed like a done deal. A new contract was a formality. However, new rumors suddenly appeared on the horizon. Salah hinted that he wanted to stay, but his statements remained vague. Why? Perhaps because negotiations with FSG are like a chess match. Every move must be thought out to the smallest detail. and now they're throwing out information about a contract until 2028. This could be a sensation for a club that is traditionally cautious with long-term commitments. But there's a catch. Ficharges is not the most reliable source. But what does this mean for the future? Won't these steps become an obstacle to rejuvenating the squad? And most importantly, how should the fans react to this? Rejoice or wait for official statements? For now, the situation resembles a game of nerves. Nobody knows how this saga will end, but one thing is for sure: Liverpool is not going to give up. They know Salah's worth. And while age may just be a number, the question is, can the Egyptian star remain just as bright in 3 or 4 years? So, what do you think? Is this contract a triumph or a risk? Share your opinions in the comments and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the latest football news.